I'm sorry because I just spent a good 30 minutes talking about this and I was on practice mode and I thought the video saved, but it didn't. So regardless if people come in here or not, I really don't care. But I need to get this off my chest because obviously it's something that I want to say. So I don't know if you guys know or not. It was a controversial therapist with that she basically went viral for telling men that they need to go to therapy, but her delivery was so off that someone wrote an article about her and she ended up getting fired from her job. And then she wrote another post basically saying how disappointed she was, and that, you know, it was the black woman that wrote the article got her fired from her job because she basically stated that men needed to go to therapy to create an emotional vocabulary to help expand their healing. Now, what she was stating, very true. Her delivery, very disrespectful. And I say that because at first, when I first seen the video, I was like, because the woman that I follow, she expressed that how she felt like she was a narcissist, and I was like, well, why is she a narcissist? Why you say that? And she said that because I guess the lady, she wasn't taking accountability for actually losing her job, but she wasn't taking accountability for what she was saying, and then she also didn't apologize for what she was saying in the video. So I had to go do my research because I'm like, okay, so this is a rebuttal video. She's basically talking about, you know, men not going to therapy. I don't know whether y'all watched it or not. And so I had looked her up on Black Twitter, and when I looked her up, that's when I seen the full video of basically her like, yo, like, y'all dusty ass niggas needs to go to therapy because y'all fucking up women's lives, and y'all some bitches because, like, y'all understand, like, what the fuck y'all doing, like, basically going off on men, just going in. And I'm like, damn, like, she was really going in, and I wanted to support her so bad because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about women going about them going to therapy and stuff like that, and how about men in general going to therapy for healing and all of that stuff. So when I seen the video, I was just like, dang, like, I really want to support her. I was rooting for her, like, and because at the end of the day, I am like I won't say like a full-blown feminist, but I am a feminist at heart. I like to support women when they say certain things, but like, she was out of pocket. And as I'm reading the comments, like, it was just so many comments like, yo, like, she could express any type of thing she want to say. Like, I don't understand how she got fired from her job. She was just expressing herself. And yes, expressing herself was not wrong. She can say whatever she wants to say, but I feel like when you have the role of a therapist, like, I feel like when you're a therapist or any type of mental health profession, or any type of with whatever you do working with people within that field, like, you have a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You're like the key in the gateway of healing, and you're in someone else's psyche. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with someone's spirituality, and you're dealing with somebody else's trauma on why they can or cannot express themselves due to their trauma. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you have a certain responsibility that you have to withhold. And if you cannot withhold that, then what is the point of you know, being in this field? You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the reasons why I say, you know, therapists needing therapists, because at the end of the day, like, we all need a place to unravel and express ourselves and break down our trauma. And at the same time, like, I was just really disappointed because of how many people were saying, like, just saying, oh, she was expressing herself. Okay, but ain't it true though? But when Kevin Samuel said that shit, I'm like, okay, enough of the tit for tat. Like, one of us have to take accountability for our own healing and have to understand that, yes, a lot of people need to do certain things, but we cannot force people to do something until they want to do it. We cannot do that. And I'm so mad in the practice video because I'm pretty sure I have said more, but yeah, like, that shit just made me really uncomfortable, and it was really on my spirit, and I really wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's very controversial right now between men and women right now, because I feel like we're not on the same page as our healing. Some of us aren't, and a lot of us want to point the finger. And I feel like you are going to be in a space where you are trying to help people take accountability for their actions, for their emotions, and for their healing journey. You as a person, you have to take accountability for your emotional spillage when you are providing this healing to other people. And I was just having a conversation with one of my colleagues, someone I went to school with, and she was like, yeah, like I'm really hard on myself when it comes to that, because I work in the medical field and I don't want to bleed on my clients or say certain things when I'm in this field, because, you know, it's their time. And I said, I get that, like, we're human. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a couple times where my therapist may have said something, not like out of pocket, but like I noticed that it was part of her journey instead of mine. And I would just hold space with her, like, thank you for sharing that. Or I'll be quiet and I'll just like affirm her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're human at the end of the day. But when you are spilling and you lashing out, calling men bitches and dusty ass nigga, like, it's just too much. Like, chill out. Chill the fuck out. Chill out. Like, it is never like you are in a space where you're providing this type of healing to other people, and you as a profession, like, you should be able to take that shit seriously wherever you go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were given that responsibility, and granted, this could open up many other doors for her. Like, there was so many avenues that she could have taken, you know what I'm saying? But of course, when you're angry and when you're healing, or when you are passionate about something and you see what people need to do to fix this problem, it's going to come off like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she was like, I'm not saying like how she was feeling wasn't valid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all comes back full circle. So I'm just saying, like the level of her disrespect, like, it's crazy. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of men don't feel comfortable speaking out in general. Like, can you imagine you being on Twitter, being one of her male, and she said 90% of her clientele were men. So can you imagine being one of her clients, hopping on Twitter for a little depression, you know, depression session, and her going on there and she like going hammers talking about men and how they ain't shit. They need to go to therapy and express their fucking self because they don't have the emotional vocabulary to do so. Can you imagine that shit? If you was one of her clients and you did that, like if you went on there, you went on Twitter, you went on Facebook, and you seen, if I went on Twitter or Facebook or TikTok and seen my therapist going off about emotional ass women and how we need to explain our emotional vocabulary because we can't keep a motherfucking man and y'all so stuck on healing, y'all can't find no nigga, I'll be upset. I'll be fucking livid. So can you imagine how degrading that could be to another man seeing that shit on social media, or a young man, you know what I'm saying, or a woman who's trying to heal, like, you know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't. I'll be pissed. I cannot imagine being that person, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really fucked up that so many people don't want to take accountability. Like, you screaming accountability, but you not taking accountability for you expressing your thoughts and getting yourself fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, that woman didn't write that article out of spite. She wrote it because you had several people fucked up and you wasn't seeing that shit. So every action has a consequence. It's either a good ripple effect or it's a bad ripple effect. In her eyes, she lost her fucking job, so oh well. Like, it's just, hopefully she learns from that and takes accountability for it. And another thing that kind of ticked me off about watching her video is she was like, I'm up here expressing myself and basically tell the men that they need fucking therapy, and I end up losing my job speaking up for y'all. Like, how you gonna sit up in the video saying that men need to take emotional accountability, but you're not taking accountability for posting the video, and you saying your piece, yeah, but at the same time you're not making space for other people. Like you're not making space in for other people to express themselves, and then you express yourself saying that, oh, the lady who wrote the article, you know what I'm saying, she didn't give me a chance to rebuttal. Rebuttal for what, sis? You said what you needed to say clearly, and you not giving these men the space. You not giving you not creating the space for these men safely to express themselves either. So how you sitting up there and saying this, like, you see the ripple effect and all this shit, like, you not creating a space for these men either. You could have easily expressed yourself in a fucking diary. You could have easily talked to a male counterpart. You know what I'm saying? You could have easily talked to somebody within that community who focuses on men and mental health, and you could have expressed your thoughts that way. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't. You did not. If you really want to be the solution to a problem, then you got to go about it way differently. Do you don't think at one point in my journey or a woman's journey, we were all upset about men and what the fuck they do and what they have to say? You know, at one point in my journey, I was pissed. Like, when you are in the process of healing and saying what you got to say, like, you got to, like, at one point in my healing, like, yes, I was mad at my previous partners for doing what they did to me. You know what I'm saying? We all are in this narcissistic phase within our journey where we are trying to take our power back. You know what I'm saying? We put on the blame game. We are in our state of victimizing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are in the process of trying to take accountability. You know what I'm saying? But there is a time and a place for certain parts of our ego to die out. So when it was time to take accountability and look at it from their perspective, you know, it took a lot, but I had to, you know what I'm saying, in order for me to stop hating that person, for me to stop disliking that person, putting all the energy towards them and start putting it into myself and realizing, yo, like, I didn't know back then. I didn't know how to do certain things or how to express myself or how to maneuver in that situation, but now I do. And now that I do, I'm taking my power back from that situation and I'm able to articulate it better to help someone else. You know what I'm saying? And I wish she would have been more expressive within her situation, because it sounded like she was hurting for real. And that's why when I seen that the girl that I follow, the woman that I follow, said that she was narcissistic, I was like, well, I get why people will say that she's narcissistic, but I don't think she was, honestly. Hey, Danielle. I don't think she was, honestly. I just think she was coming from a place that she was hurt and she was feeling her feels and she was passionate about how she was feeling. So I don't necessarily think that, I feel like she didn't create that space for herself as a mental health specialist. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it was kind of bleeding on to other people. It was spilling on to other people. Like, you can express yourself and all that shit. Like, thank God for freedom of speech, right? But at the same time, when you are in a space where you are, when you're expressing yourself, you know what I'm saying? And when you're hurting, when you're healing, there's a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell that she needs healing. You can really tell that she needs healing. And it's very unfortunate that it came off the way it did, and she ended up losing her job. And she rebelled, and she, you know, hopefully people are able to, hopefully she's able to, like, realize her actions and what she did, because, like I said, what she was saying was not wrong. Men do need more mental health support. Men do need more spaces, and so do women, and so do, you know, a lot of people. Everybody's healing, but everybody also has a responsibility to some type of degree. You know what I'm saying? So it's just very unfortunate. It's just very unfortunate. Like, I just kept thinking about, like, damn, like, you really out here. Like, if I was, like, one of her clients, and then she said 90% of her clients were male, were men, and I just can't, like, what? Can you imagine getting on Facebook? If my therapist did that shit, I would be like, yo, I spent 2-3 years with you, and you gonna do that to me? Like, what? It just really fucked me up. So I just really, it was just really on my heart, and I just really had to say something, because I know people are in a space where it's just, I know, like, people nowadays, that people on social media minds are like fucking sponges, bro, and they'll suck that shit right the fuck up. Right up. And it's like, so many people are in the process of healing. Like, so many people are in the process of healing and breaking down certain information. So seeing that type of shit on TikTok or on social media in general, it can really fuck up your mind. Like, you can really feel like you doing a justice, or you doing a service, or it might wake people up. You know what I'm saying? It might wake people up to their own healing experience. Granted that, but me seeing that shit, I was just like, damn, like, we going backwards. And when is the tit for tat gonna stop, bro? Like, when is the tit for tat with women and men are gonna stop? When is that shit gonna stop? Like, it's just so, it's very unfortunate. Because I'm at a calf and the Wi-Fi is fucking up. But I just really wanted to come over here and express that because, it, like I said, it was on my spirit, it was on my heart. And I seen that shit yesterday and I was just like, let me say something, because I'm a huge advocate of mental health and expression and how we say things. I just really wish, you know, she said it way differently than what she had it to. But I also feel like, as a black woman, and being as expressive as I am, taking an accountability for how you say things. And I just had to do it yesterday. Like, I know that I can be very blunt, and I can say things that may come off to other people if they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I communicate with people on IG all day, like, so of course when a person don't like know you, you will come off a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And I just did it yesterday where I expressed myself, and I had to go back and be like, hey, like, I said it this way, I didn't mean to say it that way. So, it corrects me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm always open. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I disrespect you, I apologize. And, it came back. You know what I'm saying? So, in, this Mars and Gemini transit, mutable signs right now, we lit. So if you a Sag, a Pisces, a Virgo, or a Gemini, like, expression might roll off your lips. Are you a content creator, or you're this person who likes to express themselves? Of course, it'll come off way differently. And it was just so funny because I'm in a coffee shop, but it was active as hell in here earlier. Like, niggas was in this bitch talking. And I was like, yo, it's usually quiet in here, so I don't know if I'll be able to do this video or not, but granted. So, yeah, like, so black women in our tone, like, it can really come off differently. And I'm not saying that's, our responsibility. You take it how you take it. But I feel like that I'm kind of on that part, it was kind of like a setback, because I felt like, damn, like, I don't talk like that much anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, or express myself in that way, unless I'm really angry or I'm passionate about, or if I care about something, you know what I'm saying? I don't speak that vulgar. But when you're trying to uplift, or you're trying to suggest something to somebody, or it's important to have that dialogue, you know what I'm saying? And it could be really hard for black women because we have such a tone, you know what I'm saying? We have a je ne sais quoi about how we do certain things. And when you have a sharp tongue, it could come off very assertive when we're setting a boundary, or when we're speaking our truth about something, or when we're speaking of a general. It can become very problematic. And that's why when I first seen the video with somebody else's story, I really wanted to support her, and I really wanted to, like, just see what was going on. I was like, damn, like, it really pisses me off. Because it's like, I don't want to give nobody else that space to be like, she out of motherfucking pocket. But no, she was out of pocket. She was out of pocket. She was really out of pocket. And I was like, ugh, fuck. Like, but, and that's another thing people are really talking about, like, oh, like, I'm so upset that, y'all, we're acting like it's patriarchy in this bitch. And I'm like, no, like, this is black people having a black people problem within our community. You know what I'm saying? She had the woman who wrote the article had to nip that shit in the bud about her. Like, we fixing our own issues. So I hope and pray that somebody reaches out to her and be like, yo, like, we get what you're saying, but you came off way crazy than what you needed to come off. You came off way crazier. So I just hope, like, I'm praying for her, the therapist. I'm not gonna say her name because I feel like her name is already out there. If you want to do research on the article, go right ahead. But this is my response to it. And I just wanted to share, like, I'm just praying out to the people. I'm just hoping that it creates a conversation for healing, for therapists needing a therapist in themselves, like I said, not within themselves, but outside themselves, and for healing, for men who needs healing, finding their space to heal, and for everybody who saw that shit and felt some type of way about it. So I'm just hoping that it creates conversations, and we can grow from this in a more in a more non-controversial way. So I just want to spread love. I want to express how I felt, because it was on my spirit and I feel so much better. And I had said everything I need to say. So hopefully I said everything I need to say in this video, because I did a practice run, and like I said before, like, I thought it could save, but obviously it didn't. So maybe I was able to get everything out. But like, yeah, like, it's time for the tip to tap to stop within this space. Like, I know dating out here is hard, but you know, I feel like when we are taking our power back and we're focusing on ourselves, we are doing more of ourselves a justice to formulate a more conscious decision, a more intentional decision to move forward within our dating process, and dating ourselves and realizing that self-love and self-expression and taking accountability for our actions go way further than what the fuck we think. Looking at being able to look at both sides of the situation is way more bigger than we think. Like, when you are in your healing journey and you are at a phase where you're like, yo, I'm sick of being a victim, yo, I'm sick of expressing myself with anger, I really need to find out what the root of this is. Like, and when I'm able to stop and be like, okay, I feel this way, but how can I, but you know, what was my problem? What was my issue within this relationship? And and towards this person, like, how did the other person feel? Like, you know what I'm saying? And really putting your mind, your head in that space and being like, yo, like, yeah, it takes two to tango. So like, how can I take my power back within this situation and do it moving forward, and being able to recognize it from a more beautiful standpoint than just going off, you know what I'm saying? And being like, yo, fuck this person. And moving out of, you know, love and understanding, and being able to be like, yo, like, I get it. I don't get your part of what you did. Like, I'm still hurt, but I'm taking my hurt and I'm planting seeds in other places to expand, instead of being angry all the time. So I just really hope that she is able to learn from that and keep it moving. And I hope by her getting fired from her actions, she's able to create a better space for healing for other people, for herself, most importantly. And because honestly, she has a voice, right? It rippled, you know what I'm saying? As a black woman, it fucking rippled. But I'm just hoping that she, moving forward, can create a better space for herself to heal, for others. And yeah, and I just wanted to share my opinion. So if you watch this or watching the playback, let me know y'all thoughts. And yeah, let's get to this healing shit, because the tip for tat is getting on my nerves. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the playback, let me know y'all thoughts, and happy healing to you all.